Alright, so welcome guys to another unboxing, and this is going to be a classic unboxing here. And today we have the TRN CS1. So this is another $5, $6 pair from TRN. So much like the MT1. So I'm actually not sure, why they release two versions of this. So we're gonna figure out what is the difference of this, what is the tuning versus the MT1. Will this beat the MT1? We're gonna try to find out here in this video. Of course, big thanks to TRN themselves for sending this over. Links down below for their shop. So actually, it's in the say typical or old packaging of TRN. Professional grade hi-fi earphones, jack 3.5mm, 0.75mm 2-pin connector, 20 to 20 kHz in frequency range, 22 ohm impedance as well, and yeah, not a lot in the box here. So actually, in the design, it's different than the MT1 from what I am seeing from the portrait itself. It maybe has that maybe ST1 kind of look to it, or ST2 kind of look to it. A metal faceplate, that is what we're gonna try to figure out. TRN has been coming up with several models in a similar price range. That is their thing. And yeah, this is a ZSN-ish kind of look, and actually that looks nice for a $6 pair. I would say better looking than the EDXs and maybe the MT1s as well, with that build quality here. So let's check what you're getting in the box, and that is going to be your unboxing experience. So looking at the inside, you're getting the typical TRN cable, all black in design, with some preforming as well. So typical of this price range. And actually, yes, I did check the mic in that, and it's fairly decent. It's definitely understandable. So one of the better mics for Chi-Fis around. And you're getting additional ear tips as well. So your typical silicone tips, and you're getting that loads right away. But looking at the build quality here, this actually looks sleek for me, especially for a $6 pair. You're getting that metal sides here, and that actually looks nice. It doesn't look that cheap for me. So compared to the TRN MT1, this does look a bit more upscale. And you're getting that see-through design as well. And actually, this is smaller compared to the ZSNs, smaller than the CCA CSNs as well here. So this might fit really well on the ear. Actually, this is smaller as well compared to the EDXs and the MT1s. And yeah, this is one of the smaller ones, I'd say. But still, you're getting that maybe custom IEM shape here. It has some contours, curvatures here, and it actually does go inside the ear as well. So looks good for me overall. So build quality here for $6. Yeah, one of the better ones, I'd say, in that price range. You have removable cables, you have a metal face plate. You're getting a pretty safe shape here, and a see-through design. Yeah, this looks really good for me. So we are now wearing it on the ear, and it's actually very stable here. So because of that fins, and also because it does go inside your ear, it holds in place. And also comfort is really good as well. So because it's a small IEM, it's quite breathable on the ear. So for long listening sessions, you won't have any issues with this. Isolation, I would say average to above average, not the best that I've listened to. So I can still hear some of my voice, but yeah, it blocks some of the noise. So for commuting, for outside use, this will be nice, but yeah, not the best in isolation here. So yeah, I don't have any deal breakers in the build quality here. I would say for $6, this is really nice build quality. Right now, let's try to listen to some tunes with some September Earth, Wind, and Fire. So firstly, this is a U type of shape. So the mids is recessed in the mix. Alright, so firstly, I noticed that might be the sound stage here is a bit bigger than your MT1. So this does remind you of the EDX in a way. So in terms of the tuning, yes, this does remind me a lot of the EDX. But maybe in the overall listen with less 12K. So the mids is a bit recessed in the mix here, and also a bit relaxed in the mix compared to the highs and the bass. So there's some warmth here, but not overly done. So this is not a super bassy pair. So this is more of a bright U type of shape on the ear. But yeah, on the ear, not as bright as your EDXs. So let's try some 24K Magic Bruno Mars. Yeah, so the vocal here is just laid back in the mix. So not the most revealing vocals here. So this in the musical side of things as well. So quite lively to listen to, but it's not the most musical, most lively that I've listened to. This still has a relaxed nature to it. So maybe something in the middle. So yeah, the vocal is not the most aggressive that I've listened to. But yeah, the bass, well, it's not a super bassy pair. The bass is still substantial. And in the more fun side as well of the bass region. So it has some boom to the bass. It reminds me again of the TRN MT1 as well. But the MT1 is a bit more lively to listen to compared to this one. And yeah, the vocal here is a bit less pronounced in the mix than the TRN MT1. Yeah, the top, the cymbals, it's lively in the mix, but the cymbals has some thinness for me. So not the best bodied highs, not the best bodied cymbals here for me. So let's try another track, maybe some U Not B, Dream Theater. So here in this track, the soundstage shows in the mix for me. But yeah, one of the downsides here is the vocal for me is a bit too relaxed in the mix for me. So for the vocal, I still prefer the TRN MT1. So this is sort of like the EDX for me, but this has less air frequencies on top. The bass is quite substantial, but not overly done, so it doesn't overpower the rest of the spectrum. Yeah, so here in this track, maybe it's just the vocal that I have an issue with. So this won't be for vocal heads. So detail here is not that good, not the most detailed pair. So, it's not something that you want for some critical listening. But it's still quite a nice listen for me. But yeah, you have the TRN MT1, so that's one downside. Alright, so looking at the measurements, so this is a punch-in, guys, after the unboxing. So they do have a lot of similarities here, but your MT1 will have more bass response, less of that 5K and a little bit more 12K in the MT1. So that's why maybe the MT1 is a little bit more lively to listen to. So the bass is more pronounced in the MT1 here. So looking at the CS1, so you're getting that fairly flat bass at the bottom. So the bass elevation is not that much compared to the MT1. And then after that, it goes to around 400 Hertz, and from 400 Hertz, you have that recession at around 1 to 2K. So that's why the vocal for me is a bit more relaxed in the CS1. So the mids here is more recessed in the CS1 over the MT1. So from 1K to 2K region, you're having that recession in your valley for your V shape. And then after the 2K region, you're getting a rise. I'm going to around 3K. And then after that, you're getting a more major peak at around 5K with the CS1. So the peak in the CS1 is more so compared to the MT1, and then after that it goes down to around 8K, and then after that you have the double horns at the top. You have the 12K peak in the CS1 at around 12K here. So very similar to the MT1, but again, your CS1 will be more relaxed and the vocal will be more relaxed to the ear here. So comparing it to the EDX, so again, that's why maybe I kind of found the CS1 to be a bit more relaxed than the EDX, because your EDX has more 12K here, and also the EDX has more bass response as well. The EDX has more elevated bass here. So the bass region is maybe around 5 to 8 dB more elevated in the EDX, and also in the 12K region, it's around 5 to 10 dB more elevated as well in the 12K. So we're getting that more brightness in the EDX here. So yeah, more KZ, type of elevation on top. But actually in the 5K, the 5K is a bit more recessed in the EDX. So again, they do have a lot of similarities again, but your EDX will be brighter, a bit more aggressive to the ear because of that more 12K and more bass response as well. So here in this comparison, it's kind of like in the middle of the MT1 and the EDX. So your CS1 has more 5K than both the MT1 and the EDX, but your EDX has more 12K than both the MT1 and also the CS1 as well. So on the ear, they're not that far off, but they do have their own differences. Alright, so let's try to close this thing. So for the TRN CS1, so firstly, I do like the build quality. So for $6, it's my first time, seeing that metal faceplate in that price range. So I actually like the build quality in this better than the MT1 and the EDX as well. So you also have removable cables as well, so that's nice as well. You're getting that unique selling point of the MT1 and also the EDX. So that's nice. A build quality, one of the better ones in the $6 range, if not the best in the $6 range. In terms of the sound, it is in the middle for me of the MT1 and the EDX as well. So this has less brightness of the EDX, but more stage than the MT1. So it's a different tuning in a way, but yeah, it's not that far off. Three of them have some similarities, and both of them have that bright U type of signature on the ear. This being less bright, MT1 being more lively. This is a bit more relaxed. EDX may be similar to this as well, but this might be even more relaxed than the EDX here. So yeah, it's a different thing. Do I like the sound? I would say for the price that you're paying for, actually some people may prefer the bigger stage of this over the MT1, but for me personally, I do like the tuning of the MT1 more than this. I like that the MT1 is a bit more lively to listen to. Compared to the EDX, I would say this is similar in the level of the EDX. If you like more brightness, you might like the EDX. If you like a bit more toned down, kind of signature. You might like this over the EDX, but I would say in terms of the sound quality, they're level for me in my favoritism. So yeah, I do find this to be good value overall for the price you're paying for, especially for the build quality. So I would say it's recommended for me, but yeah, it will be up to you. Try to weigh the pros and cons over the MT1. For me, if you're just gonna buy one, it's still gonna be the MT1. All right, so that's my check with the TRN CS1, another $6 pair. So in the $6 range, there's more and more IEMs now with even better build quality that's releasing. So that's quite exciting for me. So I'm actually looking forward to that maybe in the $6 range you can release a hybrid as well, a new hybrid. So that will be cool, and this is the value proposition here. But yeah, thanks for watching, and I'm gonna see you guys in the next zpolt review. Goodbye.